Okay, so in this video, we're going over the solution to standing out in a sea of clones, doubling your prices and adding 50 to 100K MRR every 6 to 12 months. And I know you might be thinking, why are you wearing an hoodie and what's going on? What is this? It's actually just because it's currently 7:52 a.m. I've been up for 3 hours and I just am freezing my absolute, um, you know, expletives off because in Australia we're turning into winter. But nonetheless, let's get into it. Let me just preface this by saying a commodity is basically a fundamental good used in commerce that is interchangeable with other commodities of the same type. So, what you might be able to see with this is basically what's happening in the market right now, which is Alex Hormozy, the god of internet marketing, saying E equals this, or E equals basically $100 million offer. So I love Alex Hormozy, but the thing is, everyone uses the same offers. Everyone uses the exact same offer structure. Everyone uses the same headlines that they work so well. And the only reason that they don't work as well as they used to is because everyone uses them. And that is what this video is about. This video is about essentially the exorbitant or the ridiculous amounts of information that are available actually causing a situation where all of a sudden everyone's doing the same thing because everyone's using the same information. So what you need to know, let me just skip past this stuff, is that if you are a person with killer case studies and product market fit, you have your first few employees, you're a product-based founder who's really good at your service, and you probably want to charge a bit more money, and you place a high priority on getting insane results, then this video is for you because you don't want to be standing out. You don't want to be not standing out. Sorry, you don't want to be mixing in with the crowd. You want to be standing out. So the problem you probably keep facing is that you can't scale that high because you keep hitting these operational bottlenecks that prevent you from delivering a high level client experience, or you always get looped in with these other SMMA noobs, and you kind of just can't deal with the fact that people are kind of moving away from liking agencies. So if you're actually really good, you might have even gotten to this point without even trying. So you might have even gotten here where you are now without even trying, and then all of a sudden the difficulty is just bumped up a notch, and you kind of have to assess where you're really at in business. So at this time, it's likely that you would have bought some type of done with you solution or some type of do it yourself solution, coaching program, blah, 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 to try and solve that and try and get an edge. I hope you bought the good ones, to be honest, because I do like these programs. But the problem is that a lot of these solutions that help agencies and help B2B companies scale are actually just delivered to the mass market. They're kind of just sold as repackaged consulting, or you might be told that there's sort of coaching, but it's really just a course. And then essentially the end result is that there are so many people that have bought into this program that everyone just does the same thing. So everyone becomes super. Everyone gets this new tactic that's working so well, allegedly. It's completely obliterating the market. And then basically no one's super anymore. So everyone's super and then no one's super because everyone uses the same offer, the same script, the same fulfillment process, et cetera, et cetera. And then you look at the state of the market right now and you see that the other option is basically a allegedly lead generation agency, which, pretty much I've only heard of a couple that actually drive results. Because typically what happens is that you pay the invoice, you get added to Slack, you get on the onboarding call, and then all of a sudden you're basically just another client. The reason for that is that it's fairly impossible for these types of agencies to allocate the required calories to pretty much crack outbound, quote unquote, because they're trying to do it for 30 people at once while also hunting their own deals. So they're trying to scale multiple companies at once without really being able to provide the requisite calories to the one company that just needs their outbound deals done. So it does create somewhat of a bottleneck. The other thing is that a lot of these lead generation agencies don't really understand what a quality lead looks like. They don't understand what a qualified lead looks like. They don't know how to DQ before a call. They don't know how to basically make sure that the person getting on the call is actually red hot and looking to buy. I don't even want to say red hot because red hot kind of becomes a buzzword in itself. You just need someone that's kind of warm and kind of knows what you do and is ready to sort of entertain the solution instead of just, a random person off the street who maybe wants to look into something. And the reason for this is that they're really working close enough with each individual client to be able to put in the time to learn the ins and outs of your business, learn about all this stuff. So it's kind of stupid to think they might be able to drive consistent results. So it's a bit of a recipe for disaster. And this is pretty much why you've seen markets saturate so far. So everyone really does the same thing. Everyone has a cold email tactic that gets posted to YouTube or a script, or it gets posted to Twitter or wherever it gets put, and then all of a sudden it just gets rinsed. It gets completely blown out of the water straight away. So it's not really any wonder why everyone's feeling like the market is sort of in that spot. And it sort of feels like not many people have the juice to get to those multi six-figure months. But, if you're going to be really honest, you kind of have to know that that level is only achievable for the few that know they have the energy and capability to grow and sustain a big business. So if that's you and you're looking for that vehicle that can give you that velocity to get you there, but you probably suspect that it's not going to be another unspecific coaching program, then keep watching this video, and this video is for you. So what you've probably seen right now is that at the economic level, customers are under a lot of stress at the moment. So with the recession, with inflation, with all this stuff that's going on with ad prices, etc., talent's hard to find. No one can get good people in their company. A lot of these businesses are forced to get really lean, really, really fast. The implications of that pretty much just mean that customers are going to be tighter with their money, so their spending habits are going to adjust. But on the flip side, customers are also going to be more willing to purchase things that are essential to their businesses and lives. So that is actually a really, really good thing if you are in a position to build a moat, and it's a terrible thing if you're someone on the outskirts. So on the marketing level, what that means is that customers are going to be really apprehensive to trust you and buy, because even some agencies that appear like they get results and they have a level of social proof are still lackluster. So it's really difficult to get them on calls. It's really difficult to get them warm and basically stand out in the market as someone that's not the same as all of these fraudulent agencies, fraudulent companies that basically just deliver sort of ballooned out results, et cetera, et cetera. So the result of that is that cold outreach and cold looms are a little bit less effective over time, and great agencies can actually plateau and struggle to fill and convert the pipeline. Even the ones that are filling the pipeline, they still can't scale because they can't get customer results with so many clients. So there's this sort of catch-22 where if you can get clients, it's tough for you to scale because you don't have ops. And if you can't get clients, then you can't scale anyway. So it's kind of like you almost pick your poison, because you're kind of screwed either way. That's what it feels like at the moment anyway. That there, right there, is the reason why Done With You works to an extent. So that's why people would buy something like that. And I understand. I've bought stuff myself. I've been through all these programs, but they sort of have their limitations. So there comes to a point where instead of extra expertise, you kind of need extra hands and extra expertise, because you need to break those plateaus. And you see Nick Verge here. Nick Verge has sold millions and millions of these programs for his clients and himself. And he's saying that the success rate is 10 to 20%. So 10 to 20%, because there's all these testimonials, but when you think about it, they probably should have more if they are going to be at the level that they say they're at, simply because if they're making 300 grand a month and they charge 10K, that should be 30 a month. Interesting is that these sort of Done With You programs are going to have huge, huge revenue. And then what you want to see is that 6 months down the line, when those people have been through the program, you want to see a lot of case studies getting produced from that cohort. But if they're onboarding 30 to 50 people per month and they only have 20 testimonials, how in the hell does that work? That's what Nick just exposed with that tweet. I thought that was a phenomenal tweet. That's why I wanted to include it. Shout out, Nick. So again, coaching programs are great, but they don't really handle that time bottleneck. There's no boots on the ground that are going to go and implement the stuff that you need to do in order to scale a company. And especially if you're one of these people like I'm talking about, you're really great at your service, you've got pipeline, stuff like this, you could probably join every coaching program on the market, but they're not going to be one-to-one. They're not going to solve problems for you. They're not going to be with you. Then it's very, very rare. I only know of about one coaching program that is literally going to go in the trenches with you and travel with you. So as a result, in specific cases, sometimes Done For You is a more optimal strategy. Sometimes. So this is not always. I do enjoy Done With You program, but with Done For You, there is a host of benefits. So let's pretty much just kind of cut the line and be really transparent. This game is extremely, extremely stressful. So if you're some of these people that's in the space, you're going against the grain. Everyone in your life has pretty much told you not to do this. Everyone's in your life told you, go to uni, be a DoorDash driver. That's what I was. I used to be a DoorDash driver. I loved it, but they're saying, go to uni, be a DoorDash driver, do this stuff, go do law, go do medicine, blah, blah, blah. But if that's you, then you pretty much had to bootstrap yourself up and get to where you are now with no training wheels whatsoever. And again, that's why Done With You programs are so popular, because they have this infrastructure that provide a space for you to have a community. You can go back and forth with people that are like you, and it feels really good. But I guess what I want to sort of look at is, what if there was someone that was walking through the jungle right alongside you? So you're talking about Kobe Bryant, Tim Grover, Warren Buffett and Munger, Forrest Gump and Bubba, literally back to back in the trenches. That's what I think the market needs at the moment. And correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Am I wrong? Because even Elon Musk had Jared Bershel. So the money guy. We're talking about Elon Musk, Bloomberg. You can also look at the Godfather himself. So someone to sit back to back with you in the trenches and go to war, instead of another coach that's going to go and tell you, hey, go, shoe off, you've paid me already, go over here, go do that. While they're sitting on a beach in Miami with an espresso martini and, a bunch of hot babes. That's what they're doing. I don't know. It seems a bit weird to me. But yeah, I think the thing that comes to mind, for me at least, is that it's really rare that these high level operators that you need to scale are available for hire. So they either have an agency, they have a coaching program, or they're just doing something else. So that's why I'm actually introducing this new solution to the market right now. I will work in your business as a fractional CRO. So in more corporate settings, a CRO is going to be responsible for all the revenue related functions of the business, marketing, sales, revenue operations, etc. But for whatever reason, I rarely see agencies hire a CRO. I rarely see these sort of smaller B2B companies that are around 50 to 100K a month hire a CRO. And that's potentially due because there's reluctance to bring on another C-level. It's really scary to have that fixed cost. And it's also probably too early to have a full-timer in that position. So it's really, really difficult to hire good talent because they're already doing other stuff. So it's actually really rare that someone with the required skill set is available to slot into that specific role that needs to be filled. But from what I've seen in the solutions available in the market for agencies, the people that are similar to what I described are crying out for something very specific. There's something to be said about having a second set of eyes, having sales acumen, having accountability, someone to trust, quality leads, proven processes, reliable pipeline, and then also a true partner that's going to come in and cover blind spots and be a creative fixer for anything that pops up. So I think it's valuable, but you can actually let me know. So I think this works with a very specific type of person. And if you are that type of person, then you should book a call and we can discuss whether this type of thing makes sense. Because I do understand that this type of arrangement takes a significant amount of trust. Of course it does. So I encourage you to do your due diligence. I believe in accountability myself. So when you book in for the call, what we're going to do is just have a chat. I'm not going to even mention what I do. We're not even going to talk about it, because what I want to do is just see if it's going to work for you in the first place. This is very typical, oh yeah, we're going to see if it's a good fit. But no, we're actually going to see if it's a good fit. And that's based on your exact situation. So you're probably going to have a bunch of bottlenecks that are stopping you from scaling. And what I want to do is potentially either tell you, hey, you just need to go and do this, go do this. Or I can say, hey, you can go and do this and then you can work with me. Or I can say, hey, go and watch these videos and then you can work with me. Something like that, because I have a plethora of free content available. And if it's not a fit, I'm more than happy to direct you to some of the most relevant snippets. And I'm also happy if there's something that's not necessarily publicly available information, I'm happy to give you that as well. So I'm going to send you some assets that are not publicly available after the call. Because truthfully, I'm not really much of a pressure salesman, because that doesn't really generate relationships. Because if I'm going in as a partnership, I can't really afford to hard close you and use Jedi mind hacks on the call and try and say, hey, book a call, yeah, and then try and high tick close it. It doesn't work. I'm looking for a 12-month engagement here and be a real partner. So that just is stupid. So in terms of exactly what it looks like, I would be repositioning the messaging that you're using towards product market resonance and using rapid testing and analysis to create a market piercing offer. So I'm going to create the offer. I'm then going to create sales assets for you and video sales letters, specifically at least 3 video sales letters and a bunch of sales assets for distribution and content for inbound marketing. Then what we're going to do with those sales assets is build an asset-based outbound system and find resonance in the market and determine the best access channel. So a lot of these done with you programs, they're going to try and say, oh, we need to use this channel. We need to use this. But it's not really proven that that channel is going to be the best for your specific niche. So this is the opposite of a templated solution. Every single client that I bring on gets an unholy amount of attention. It's ridiculous how much attention this requires, because we need to say, is this going to be the most profitable channel for us? Okay, we'll pursue that. We do some testing for that. And then we want to form a sales process from lead book to client signed, including lead nurture, pre-call, structure of the call, scripts, trainings, templates, guides, etc. Because I like to enable founder sales. I'm not going to just plug in some stupid closer who's 17 years old and never closed a thing. We want to work directly with you and make sure you can close with our process. So that's A to Z. Then what we want to do is recruit A-level talent. So this is sales, SDRs specifically. If we need marketing, if we need customer service, if we need fulfillment, we have a really good hiring hack that the market isn't using at the moment. So no one's actually, I have not seen this deployed by one person in the internet marketing space to a good degree. We've placed people that have become heads of operations within a couple of months. That's how quickly they can scale up. Our people are really, really strong. And then what we want to do is build the systems for you to fulfill your service. So once we have the talent, we need to figure out how to fulfill really, really well. We need to build an action plan. We need assistance to productize the business. We need SOPs. We need to get the founder out of day to day very, very quickly, because at the moment, founders are basically content creators. That's really, really important. Then number 7, we actually attend necessary team meetings at times. So we can train team members, we build culture, we provide guidance and partnership on direction and steering of the business to wild levels of profitability. On top of that, we also want to build a roadmap and basically get the business to where you want to get to. Because you might want to get to 100K a month, 200K a month, and then go and sell info. That's fine. I respect it. Or you might want to try and get to $1 million a month and you want to strap in and really go hard. So within that, we're going to help you do that. In terms of bonuses, basically when we sign up together, I provide you access to all the resources available to myself as well as my team. So basically, I'm going in and leveraging my team, my personal team, to basically fulfill for you. So we actually have SDRs, we have people doing copy. My team actually does copy for one of my clients. And we also provide referrals, network, hiring pools, employees, discounts on complimentary services, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, it's just a partnership. So in terms of that, it's all done for you on an in-house basis. And then we also have consulting and SOPs for all the other stuff. Basically, it's a really, really strong offer from what I've seen. There's a lot of resonance for it in the market. So if this is interesting to you and you think you want to turn your business into an elite sales organization, you want to get out of day-to-day operations, you want to basically just turn your agency into an elite level organization and a real business and become a real CEO and start managing an ecosystem, that's kind of what we're doing. So this is about giving your bandwidth back. It's about releasing the stress, about scaling. It's about hitting growth goals. It's about getting more higher paying clients, getting out of ops and seeing cash stack up in the checking account. So if you've grinded for hours, you put in the work, you wield a fortune from the mud, if that's you, it may be time to open the doors and get some help. So if that's you, reinvigorate yourself and commit to the next phase. Let's add 100K MRR in the next 12 months. So book a call and let's see if I can help you do that. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to chatting, and cheers.